ending.
Look, we did it.
Is it us? So is it live us now?
Yeah, it's live
Hey,
us
friends.
now. Hello. How are you all?
Welcome back. This is our second time trying this live. Yay. And we're hoping to do this maybe Sunday afternoons, evenings, consistently, so you have something to look forward to. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean,
Sounds so bad saying it like that.
We're in pandemonium right now. We don't freaking know. We'll have to see.
Hopefully that you have something to look forward to, which is us.
Yes.
We're great.
Which, speaking of that, we are the Crush and Press podcast. I'm Angela. You can call me Ange.
Oh, and I'm Philippa. You can call me Flip.
Today we are going to be talking about the murders of transgender women in Dallas, Texas. So this is your disclaimer. We are talking about murder, sex crimes, and as you heard in that little brief intro, we cuss sometimes. So this live stream is for mature audiences only. Flip, you got your wine?
Where'd my wine go? Oh, it's back here.
Hang tight.
Almost
And we're still in red Solo cups.
Look at that.
New apartment time. So join us. Get your wine, get your snacks.
Get your wine, get your snacks, cuddle up on your couch, on your bed.
Okay, but first, before we get this started, hey, how's your weekend been? How you holding up?
Pretty good. I've been playing Animal Crossing this entire weekend.
Please chime in if you are also playing Animal Crossing. We want to know.
Later on, you know, I can get Joey to get the Switch, and I can put my deets in the box here. And you guys can give me all your pears and cherries. I have peaches and bamboo on my island.
I do not play that game. I play Best Fiends. It's by myself, and it's fun.
Angela, step out into the world.
I'll think about it. Marcy was in here last time, and she was talking about doing Animal Crossing too. So if she does it, I will end up doing it.
Animal Crossing is the way to go. I also used my Ring Fit, which maybe I'll take a video of Angela doing it.
No, maybe. I haven't tried it yet, so this could be real entertaining.
It's so much fun and so exhausting. How's your weekend?
I took a day off yesterday, and then I napped today. But no, just still working on t-shirt blanket making shit. Called my mom, who did the whole, hey, Aunt so-and-so said that you said on Facebook you're not working. And I was like, well, Mom, if you'd talked to me in the last 5 days, you would know I'm not working. So there's that. If you all have old t-shirts and want me to make them into a blanket, let me know. It's Forever Young Blankets on Facebook. I would love to turn those old shirts into a blanket for you so I can have money, because I'm poor. Help me. I'm poor.
Only gonna get poorer here in this quarantine.
Jesus. Okay, so let's see. I suggested these murders because I'm a dark, horrible person.
Yes, she is. You know it.
So, you got our photos ready? We're gonna pull up our photo file.
Yes, I do.
And then you guys, we're gonna be dropping links for you as well if you want to follow along. I think it's the very first link that I put in the email should be kind of what we're going off of first.
The very first link? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Copy that. Great. Then y'all, give me some... give me a chance here.
Give her 2 minutes. In the meantime,
Don't
give
me 2 minutes.
Feel free to comment with your favorite color.
Tell me things about you.
Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets that you've never told anybody else.
Don't tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. That would be weird. This is a live stream.
Parties and they're taking videos, so
all
right, let me.
If you guys are in a watch party, go ahead and redirect to that regular page, like the original page, so that way we can see what you're saying.
Because if you're a watch party, I can pull his watch party up, so that if there are comments in there, we can.
Joey says it would be easiest if you guys would redirect to our original page and watch us there if you are in Bo's watch party.
You know.
But Flip's also trying to access this so we can get a hold of you guys.
Oh, hello,
hey, Caitlin. Caitlin, we were just talking about how you should do some of these videos for your makeup stuff.
Yes,
we'll watch it.
Do. Oh, she said, yo, I just got Animal Crossing. Bro, it is so fun. I will 100% message you later, and you can come get some peaches off my island.
That sounds so dirty. I think it was yesterday I said something like, I gotta go scrub my tub. And I told that to Bo because we were talking about theater stuff, and he goes, is that a euphemism? No, mine actually go scrub my tub. I got magic erasers. We got to get all this guzz. It's like scuzz off of there.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
All right.
So are we ready to get into the murdery shit?
Yes.
There.
Murdery shit. Let's do it.
Okay, y'all. So it's kind of a serious topic. In between, we'll try to interject with a little lighthearted moment here and there as we can. Feel free to ask us questions, and we'll look into that. And we'd love to.
Bo ended the watch party.
Thanks, Bo. You fixed it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So give it a second. Is it good? Okay. So originally I found the case of Shade Schuler when we were talking about what we wanted to talk about this first season, and it's we were going with unsolved murders. So I found Shade Schuler, a black trans woman who was murdered in Dallas, Texas in July 2015. The basic thing that I found was this, and there really is not a lot of information on her. The 22-year-old Schuler's body was found the morning of July 29th, 2015, in a field on the west side of the city. And the police said there's minimal information available about the crime. Authorities identified Schuler as a black male and then requested the public's help in finding her killer. But 4 years later, that homicide still remains unsolved. And that took me down a big, deep rabbit hole. And we're going to explore that more today and bring attention to this community, these crimes, and give you guys some more information about how you can help and resources to find out more.
Joey has to adjust something. We're just going to keep talking, but he's here.
This is Joey.
This is Joey, in case
Hi,
you guys
Joey.
didn't know.
If you guys listen to My Favorite Murder, he's our Steven. Joey.
Our Joey.
He's our Joey. Okay, so in 2018... so that's 2 years ago now, right? Where are we? Who are we? We're in 2020. In 2018, advocates tracked at least 26 U.S. murders involving transgender victims, with black trans women representing an overwhelming majority. And according to the Human Rights Campaign, which considers itself the largest national lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer civil rights organization. So this is a big problem. And the most comprehensive list of victims I found so far was by Elliot C. McLaughlin. It was on CNN.com. And then I wanted to ask Flip to read us a little bit about some of these victims so that's not just me talking. And I've got, if you want to do like every other one, if you can find a second to pull that up. Yeah. Okay, we got our stuff adjusted, you guys.
Sorry. If the music gets a little too loud, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
And we will fix it.
Yeah, guys, we're still new at this, so if you can't understand what we're saying, if you need us to get closer to our mics, if you need us to stare more into the camera,
stare deeply into your eyes, I will do that.
We'll do that.
Just look directly at the camera.
We'll do that. Was it Tom Steyer?
What?
Tom Steyer stare. I miss him. He was so funny in the end. He was so sweet.
Goodness.
He had a video of him booty dancing for a while there.
Okay.
It's funny.
I'll be ready.
Yes. So you're going to be down with Chanel Lindsay. All right, because my internet, y'all, was going so slow. I was like, I'm not going to rely on this website. I'm just going to copy and paste this.
Okay.
There you
Yikes. Go. Chanel Lindsay. Her body was found in White Rock Lake, a northeast Dallas reservoir, over the weekend, making Lindsay's the most recent case. Wait.
Yeah. It's all of these stop in like 2019. Like the reports that I found. So we're going to dig into it a little bit more and see if there were any more.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to read something that was like super recent. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
The Arlington 26-year-old's body showed obvious signs of homicidal violence, Police Chief Renee Hall said. The chief promised an aggressive investigation into Lindsay's slaying and urged the community to remain vigilant. The FBI says it stands ready to join the investigation.
And we'll talk about it later, but they have since been invited in and have joined that investigation.
As authorities work to determine whether Lindsay's slaying and others constitute hate crimes, which would likely come at a federal level because Texas law provides no special protections for transgender residents. Mm-hmm. Cousin Tamaya Lindsay told CNN affiliate KTVT. Wow, that's
KTVT.
Okay.
Oh well.
That only hate could drive such evil. If this was a hate crime, she said, breaking into tears, for someone to have that much anger and hatred towards someone leave them in a lake like trash is horrible.
So that was our
Thanks.
most recent one in this big old stream of women. And I want to go through and talk about the victims, mostly because that's what we have. We don't have a whole lot of suspects or court case or anything to talk about this time. And I was going to say, you've got pictures of the victims up there for us?
I do.
Okay.
I can leave those up there as long as you'd like.
Yeah. The next one's Malaysia Booker. She was found shot to death May 18th in South Dallas, where she was born and raised. Her death came shortly after she was assaulted by a mob, drawing attention to a pattern of violence against transgender women of color specifically. In 5 weeks, the 22-year-old went from being a symbol of transgender resistance, catapulted in the national spotlight after a video showed her fighting back against a mob attack, to a murder. That video is still out there online if you guys want to watch it. I didn't want to pull that up because it's literally her being attacked. In a press conference last week, Weddington said that the department is investigating possible links between Booker's slaying and the other acts of violence involving transgender women, including the stabbing of another woman in April of 2019. However, the police say there's no evidence linking the mob assault to her murder. So she was assaulted, and then later, I think this is the one they suspect it was a boyfriend or just a date. At her funeral, her mother said that her daughter once told her she would do whatever it took to live her truth, even if it cost her her life. She was willing to die behind it, and that's why it's well with my soul. And then Edward Thomas was... Okay, so here's the thing. For a while, they thought that there was maybe a serial killer on the loose, killing specifically black trans women in Dallas. But there are too many people. There's like 3 or 4 guys that have been arrested in connection with 1 or 2. So I don't know which is worse, having a serial killer or having an epidemic of assholes killing black trans women. I don't know which one's worse. But this one, Edward Thomas was arrested in connection with Booker's assault in April, but Weddington said that he was not linked to her killing. And then the Thomas, the lawyer, said that he had nothing to do with her death and that the alleged assault was not a hate crime. And then we have no doubt that the truth will come to light in this situation after a thorough investigation. Do you want to go to the
unidentified 26-year-old victim? Oh, okay.
Hang tight, you guys.
A 26-year-old transgender woman was stabbed multiple times on April 13th, Weddington told reporters. Where am I? Fortunately, the victim in this case survived her attack and provided detectives with a description of the suspect, he said. The detectives are working diligently to determine if there are any connections to other investigations.
Brittany White, on October 21st of last year, Brittany White was found shot in her vehicle, and police have no suspects. Weddington did not provide extensive details on her killing, but he said following Booker's death, that the 2 crimes do bear similarities. So this is one where, again, is it a serial killer that's got, the same motive and, what's that, MO? Or yes. Not? Let's see. He said, during the course of these investigations, detectives have learned that besides all victims being transgender females, 2 of the victims were in the area of Spring Avenue and Lagao. Oh man, y'all, pronunciations. Lagao Street prior to the offenses occurring. In addition, it's also been determined that 2 of the victims got into a vehicle with someone, and in another case, the victim allowed someone into their vehicle. He did not elaborate. Everybody needs to be vigilant and pay attention to the surroundings when they're out in public and use caution when interacting socially. We're going to talk, before we get into Nicole Hall, one of the things we're going to talk about is the amount of transgender women that end up in sex work because they're not being hired by, like retail stores and other places because of discrimination. And so they turn to sex work, and some of these, like her getting into a car with a stranger and the other one getting into a car with a stranger, is that part of how they're making a living and then becoming victims because of that, and because they're in sex work, not being taken seriously by police, and their deaths aren't they deemed like less than human by some police? I think it's so that's a whole other
that's a whole other can of worms to get into, but that is a pretty fairly common thing. A lot of sex workers do not report their crimes because they feel like nobody really cares. And unfortunately, think it's doubled in this community because you get that aspect of being, and I kind of pulled up a couple of things on this, specifically in Dallas, about others who are transgender, and there's a lot of court cases where people are fighting spouses, people are fighting against their children. This is a really big issue in Dallas. So, one, you get that aspect of people not caring because they're sex workers, and then you get that aspect of people thinking that they are less than others because they're transgender. It's a really kind of fucked up situation.
Yep.
All right.
Do you want to talk Nicole Hall?
Nicole Hall. It is not clear whether Hall's death was classified as a homicide, but the uncertainty over what led to her demise rattled the city's LGBTQ community, especially as it came just days after another transgender woman was strangled. Holy crap.
Yep.
On the evening of May 12th, 2018, a kayaker found a body floating in White Rock Creek and called police, who arrived to find a black transgender woman's body in a black shirt and scrub pants decomposing in the water.
Yeah.
Police initially identified the victim by her birth name, but local media quickly provided the proper identification: Nicole Hall, age 39. A detective was assigned to the investigation, but it was classified as an unexplained death. Police have said they will provide more information as it becomes available.
Well, and that's when you find a body floating in a lake. What do you think, it's a suicide? What the hell?
Well, no, the human. Okay. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, the human body, you cannot drown yourself, so that doesn't work.
No, and there's been a few of these when you start looking into them that they're like, this was deemed a suicide. This was deemed, what is that called when you fight with your spouse and they abuse you?
Domestic violence.
Thanks, domestic violence.
Spousal abuse.
It's been a long time, y'all. Domestic violence versus murder versus, hate crime. And so a lot of these are getting categorized as different things. And so that's why you're not seeing this string of, like, all of it coming together at once, like you would, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, you can keep going.
At a vigil for Hall, friends described her as a matriarch of the transgender community and said the death of 2 transgender women in the span of 3 days had left them panicked. I want to say to anyone who didn't know her, she was worth knowing. Best friend and former roommate Miko Hicks told the Dallas TV station. She was someone who was charitable, compassionate. She helped anyone she could. She was sweet.
Can you pull up the picture? I think there's one from a protest, and it's got 3 women holding up images of some of these other women in front of them. That one.
Sorry.
That's okay. Carla Flores Pavon. 3 days before Hall's body was found, 26-year-old Carla was found strangled to death in her Dallas apartment. Police told the station that she was not targeted because she was transgender, but was killed during a robbery. A Seabrook, Texas man was arrested during a May 17th in 2018 traffic stop after police found items that belonged to Carla in his car. He said that he had met the 25-year-old man in an online chat room, and he is being held on $500,000 bail, charged with murder because it was fucking murder, even if it is part of a robbery. Last one. You want to do this one?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. Yeah. All right.
Wait, very last unidentified.
Sorry.
You're okay. Right above that.
Okay. Another unidentified victim. This was the first of what Weddington says are the 4 open cases. Details on this case are very slim. In July of 2017, the remains of a transgender woman were found in a field, but the cause of death was undetermined, and it was classified as an unexplained death, according to police. So I know we wanna move into another case. Correct.
Yes. Hey guys, any of the as we're reading these articles, the pronouns that are being used are the ones that are written that we're reading off of here.
Right. So, as I may not know the exact pronouns, like we said, we are using what is in the news articles.
And a lot of the articles that I found mostly were ABC.com, NBC.com, CBS.
Correct.
All those basic like newsy news ones
And
versus like all the murderpedia and stuff.
And they did have a lot of quotes from family members and friends, so I'm assuming that they are finding out the correct pronouns from family members and friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were saying that, I forgot which woman it was. There was a podcast that I listened to, and now I didn't write that down. But she had a trans-inclusive funeral, and they were able to have people there that knew her before she transitioned, while she was in transition, and afterward. And they were able to use, it was trans-inclusive, and that's something I would love to look more into and figure out how you do that. Well, not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And interesting.
That's something I never thought of it. I'm learning something new every single day.
No.
Before that was Shade Schuler, and then I found a website. So did you have something else you want to talk about before that?
Yes. Is this the same website? No, it's not. I have this.
Okay, perfect.
I just kind of am briefly looking over some other documentation here, and like we totally encourage you guys to also do that.
Please.
If something that we're looking up seriously interests you, please go ahead and look things up, and you can drop them in the comments, and we'll pull the articles up and read along with them. So this article right here is from Dallas News, where it states that Texas leads the nation in transgender murders. The Dallas trans community is seriously questioning this, and this states that nearly half of the deaths have occurred in Dallas, with many pointing to politics as an underlying problem. This image here actually holds, does it have any of these girls? Oh, it has a couple of the actual friends that we mentioned in this article here. But essentially they're stating that at least 15 transgender people have been killed in Texas since 2015.
Yep.
That's insane. Nearly half of those deaths occurred in Dallas, where four trans women of color were shot, beaten, or choked to death in the past 16 months. This article is from September of 2019, just in case anybody, and I like I said, I'm going to drop this in the comment section if anybody else wants to read along with this. But it's definitely really, really interesting. A lot of like really good statistics in here. 2015 U.S. transgender surveys, which states that 30% of trans Americans have been homeless. Now, our articles that we found on this case, they don't say that any of these women were homeless.
Right.
It's not like somebody is just picking these women
choosing homeless
off
people
these streets to and it says that they've been homeless at some point in their lives. 10% in the previous year. For trans people of color, these numbers significantly go up. Black trans Americans report homelessness at a rate of 42%, and 13% of them have been sexually assaulted in the past year. 57% stated that they would feel uncomfortable calling the police if they needed help, and that number rises to 59 and 67% amongst Latin and Black respondents.
Yep. It's a high at-risk community, and these are people that we really should be protecting, and taking care of. And like she was saying, a lot of laws that are out there are making it very difficult for members of this community to, do normal things like get married and be seen by certain doctors, and they're having to fight homelessness and things like that. There are, I don't know if I included them in that. There's websites. Hold on. The transequality.org, if we want to pop that in there. If you guys want to learn more information about how you can support this community.
Sorry if All right, are we ready to talk about
transequality.org? Yeah, what I found. Okay, so I googled 2020 because most of the websites that I found dealing with the Dallas Transgender Murders, when you Google that, they're all from 2019. And that's like when a big update was last done, because that's when the FBI joined the investigation to see if there was a serial killer or something else going on. I did find a website when I Googled, the murders 2020. And as of Thursday, June 27th, 2019, 11 transgender women, all of them Black women, had been murdered in the U.S. since January 1st. So that was just between January 1st and June 27th? 11 Black trans women. Brooklyn Lindsay is the latest to lose her life, and then see details at the end of the list for that. It's a comprehensive list of names and details of these women, and I put that website in here, but it's the Say Their Names trans women. It's on the note, and that has, let's see if I can pull that up.
It's okay.
Okay. So it's on
I'll
the
drop
notes.
it in there in a second.
We'll get it, y'all. But yeah, say their names. And just remember that these are people. These are human beings that are being murdered. It matters. And then I think you did the one against... Oh no, that's a whole different
No,
one.
I found a whole different one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go about text or about Shade.
That's all I had, literally. That's it for Shade. Was
There's
that one
nothing
little...
in there for Shade.
No. When you start looking up Shade Schuler, there's like 2 pictures. That was my whole thing. I was like, good, I'm going to cover this. And there's really not a lot in there specifically about her. That's the one that kicked off... Well, here's the thing. There were 3 or 4 cases right after that all seemed very familiar, and then they realized, backtracking to whenever hers was 2017, I think, this was probably included with. And there's so little information on her, and the fact that when she was found, people listed her as male, and then it was really hard to identify who she was.
Sorry, hold on a second. Joey's doing something.
And that was in 2015, actually. Let's back up a little bit more. It was in 2015. And a lot of these articles I'm seeing are from 2019, with Dallas police haven't identified the shooter and are treating it as a hate crime, even though Texas hate crime laws don't cover gender identity. And then... I think have pictures of the truck. Me? Oh. Oh, no, it doesn't. That's... Well...
Oh, gosh.
Y'all are supposed to tell us if you can't hear us. That's so bad.
Guys.
Hey, trial and error. We're learning as we go.
Who's doing... Okay, he said we can still...
Okay, so this is again from 2019 September. Around 11 p.m. that Friday night, a Latino male driving a red truck allegedly pulled up to a transgender woman, yelled transphobic slurs, and shot her multiple times in the chest and arm. The woman survived and can talk, and police are now asking the public to help in investigating the attack as a hate crime. Police released images of the suspect's vehicle, a red Chevy truck with large aftermarket rims, and here's images of the truck. I'll get you this link. Copy.
You can
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
tell that Joey is the tech savvy one here.
We're just interested in the murdery shit.
So, another part of this article that is super duper interesting to me is here in the article they're talking about how, again, Dallas leads in gender murder. Florida is second on the list with 12. And that's, again, in the last, 5 years?
Yeah.
Next up we have Louisiana with 9. And then you have other states like California and New York that have far fewer, but for some reason attacks in those kinds of states seem to come in as like waves of attacks.
And those are for the whole state, and this is just in Dallas?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know. You know, a lot of the questions they just ask are, you know, why here in Dallas? Why is this stuff happening now? And why is this happening to us?
Mm-hmm.
But they have a lot of other articles in here that can either drop here or drop them at a later date, like after our live stream is over. But you know, you're getting lawmakers that are going through 12 years trying to make laws to protect transgender rights. It's just insane.
And y'all, we know that everybody can't join us live right now. So if you're watching this later, please feel free to drop in questions as you're watching.
Right.
And we can either talk about it on the next live stream. We can talk to you through text there. If you have longer questions or even more thoughts and links you want to send, you can email them to us. You can send them through Messenger. There's lots of ways to get a hold of us. So please, and we want to engage with you guys, especially if, you know, we're really interested in this. We've been doing this research, but we would love to have you guys chime in and teach us even more.
I don't know if we have. I mean, we have a few from Texas. So if you guys have more information on this, if you guys have more recent articles, if this is something that like you in the last 2 months, 3 months, definitely drop those in here because that would be something great for us to have.
Yep. Like Rachel and Biggie, if you guys are watching this, y'all live in Dallas, chime in.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I dropped the link in there. My stand, there we go. I dropped the link in there, and that's the one where Dallas police need your help solving this. So you live in the area. Do you have a friend that has this truck? Were you living there in 2015? You got some answers?
I really hope that you don't.
Can you imagine?
Issues.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And then it goes through and lists the same girls that we just talked about.
Okay.
Good, so I can drop that one. Do you have any other links and stuff you wanted to share?
All on this.
Okay.
So drop them in.
I had this. There was a recent article from 2020 about the conference in Dallas, and it's from the Dallas Morning News. Man, my laptop. So
It's
slow.
mad slow right now. Yeah, mine's slow too. Probably might just. Everybody's home.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say all the world's on fire.
quarantine.
Everybody's home and everybody's making TikToks. Oh, it's just
Smart
us.
stuff. We're doing it. Thanks, Joey.
Okay, so from the Dallas Morning News, it was the 32nd annual Creating Change conference run by the National LGBTQ Task Force, and it ran, over that weekend in. Let's see, it was 2020. There has to be a date on here because it was recent. Stop with your pop-ups. Dallas
Sorry,
Morning
everyone.
News. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Eating it.
Okay, so this was updated January of this year. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys.
January of this year, a group of activists held a rally in downtown Dallas to celebrate the lives of transgender people while also calling for an end to violence against them. Organizers said that violence against transgender people, particularly Black transgender women, has reached an epidemic level and should be treated as such. The group gathered at the Sheraton Dallas Hotel to demand respect, and I've got a picture of more signs. See, we got more pictures, y'all. Holding signs that said "Stop Trans Murder, Celebrate Trans Lives," and they highlighted their plight for fighting for basic dignity. Yeah, that one's good. Thank you. We are undeniably part of the diverse mosaic of human life. Monica Roberts of the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition told the crowd of more than 100 people, and if you're not respecting our human rights, yours are on the chopping block soon too. Yeah, and it was just another way for them to bring attention to this. At least 15 transgender people have been killed in Texas since 2015. And that's the Dallas Morning News reported in September of 2019, citing the Human Rights Campaign, and nearly half of those slayings happened in Dallas. That's a problem. The city made national news following the high-profile killings of two black transgender women last year. That was Malaysia Booker and Chanel Lindsay. And then it goes through and lists the same ladies that we talked about earlier. The Human Rights Campaign reported at least 25 killings of transgender people last year, so that's 2019. But activists say that misses many of the deaths that aren't reported as violence against trans people. Violence is a multifaceted problem, and it can stem from relationship violence and transphobic rhetoric, among other sources. It's not just murder. So we just need folks to recognize the simple fact that transgender folks are human beings and to recognize our humanity. So I'm going to go ahead and post the link to that article. It's really good. You're welcome.
Do you have any other articles that you'd like to share with us today?
Specifically, no, I don't think so. It's one, like I said, there's just so many little bits, and trying to figure out, like, there was one that they thought they had found someone's killer, but then no, they hadn't. And then I'm trying to look up, I asked you earlier, there was one I was like, if he got arrested in 2018, how can I find out if he's in jail now or still arrested? Because I'm Googling it to find updates, and there's nothing coming up on Google.
What's his name?
Let me see.
I'm going to use my super sleuth skills.
Man charged. It was the man that killed Malaysia Booker.
Caitlin said we're coming for her life. Sorry, Caitlin.
Oh, honey. But making TikToks.
Yeah. Is it cool? I don't know. I've never made a TikTok.
I watched them. Yeah, I watched them. I like the cosplayers that make them. And it's funny. Okay. Kendrell
LeVar
Lyles. KENDRELL. LeVar, as in LeVar Burton. Lyles. LeVar Burton. When I was little, y'all, I remember asking my mom if LeVar Burton could be my dad because he read stories so nicely. She's like, no, you have one dad, that's all you get. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, also, I would not. No, it's not possible. He's famous. I can't marry LeVar Burton.
Caitlin said she works at Walmart, so this chaos is her life.
It sounds like a personal choice to me.
That's the wrong mouse.
Okay.
Okay.
Better?
And I'm doing weird things right now, and I don't know what it is.
Caitlin, how do we sound to you?
Do we sound better or worse?
How do we look to you? Do we look pretty? Tell us we're pretty.
So,
because it's an old article from ABC News, and it says that he was 34 and charged with murder in the slaying of Malaysia Booker, the 22-year-old trans woman who was found shot to death in Dallas. She was last seen getting into a light-colored Lincoln, which was the same type of car driven by Lyles.
Right, and that's what linked him.
Yes. He was also named as a person of interest in the death of Chanel Lindsay.
Yes. That is on here as well.
He was arrested.
His motive is not clear is really kind of the last thing that we have here.
Yeah.
Some of these cases involve clear anti-transgender bias, and others, the victim's transgender status may have put them at risk in other ways. Again, the sex working, things like that.
Yep.
Very interesting. There's really like nothing else on this guy. My mom said we sound
good. He's the other one.
Mom.
Thank you. He's touching my face. He's the one. Y'all, this has to be
bring in the hand sanitizer.
This has to be the hardest part of this thing is me not touching my own face. My skin better look good by the end of this because I've stopped touching my face. There was let's see. He's the one that they were able to get cell phone data and show that his cell phone was pinging off the same things that both women's cell phones were. So it was probably him it was him in the car, suspected.
My face is so itchy,
Yes.
but I don't want to like actually touch it, so I'm just like hovering my finger over it. It's very uncomfortable.
I don't have the thing. It's in my bag in the other room. So yeah, but I can't tell if did he go to jail? Was it him?
There's really not any updates either. That's insane that there's 0 updates on this.
Right.
It's almost as if they don't want us to know about this.
Yeah. Because as I'm looking, it's really hard to find more information and updates past 2019. The one article, like I said, I found for 2020 was the list of the updated victims' names.
He had her phone too.
I know.
That's really creepy. This guy's mad creepy.
Yep. And I remember there was one, oh man, it was a while back, and it was a transgender woman on one of the islands, and it was an active military guy that went on a date with her, got back to the room, found out she was trans, and killed her. It's what the fuck? Walk out of the room, leave and say no thank you. Say, I didn't realize this is what, you didn't tell me who you were, blah, 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 but you don't kill somebody. Jesus.
You know what?
Guys, if I've managed to go this long and not kill a person, you too cannot kill a person.
He worked for Chartwells.
What's that?
Chartwells is the company that supplies food and things to universities. Chartwells supplied food to my university.
Huh.
Which is not great. Yeah, Chartwells, they basically run the cafeteria. Like all the cafeteria workers are Chartwells employees.
I was trying to think Cisco.
So now I'm wondering, were these women that he could have seen at the university? If he worked at a university, I'm just saying.
Sure.
It's very scary.
Oh.
Yeah, he worked as a dishwasher on campus.
Huh.
For Chartwells. What campus is that? Goodness.
Sorry, you guys were looking up stuff.
UTD.
University of Texas, Dallas.
So is it possible? I don't know. She said we sound fine the whole time. And Merle was gorgeous.
Oh,
Look at that.
you.
Look at that.
You're the best. Thanks. Thanks. Hey guys, happy chatter. Drop what is your favorite dessert item? You like key lime pie? You like ice cream? I would like to know what you guys like to eat for dessert, because I need some dessert items. Yeah? Because over Christmas break, I made apple pie, and I made my first key lime pie. And while we're here, I sure would like to maybe find out.
What exactly did he do? Oh, sorry.
More desserts.
Mom. He worked as a dishwasher for Chartwells. Like I said, he at University of Texas, Dallas. They kind of didn't want to say anything about him. They didn't want to talk about his employment or anything. But I think he's definitely been charged with one of the murders. And he is a person of interest in another 2 of the murders. They're able to match his car to one of the vehicles that one of the women was seen in. They found her phone with him. They pinged him off the same towers.
Yep. So he's connected with killing these women.
Yeah, he's connected with killing at least 3 of them. So they are suspecting him to be a serial killer. Not a mass murderer, serial killer.
Serial killer. Yes, different.
Zuri says, apple pie is life.
Yeah.
But she likes cheesecake. And Caitlin says that she likes red velvet cupcakes with cream cheese frosting in the center.
Oh,
wow.
So
that is super specific.
Yeah, that's so good, though. I've had that.
Super duper specific. Leah?
Hey, Leah. It's Leah.
Okay. She
pecan
likes pecan
pie.
pie.
A pecan.
Pecan. Pecan pie. We're going to have an argument about this right now.
Pecan. One of us is from Texas.
Yeah. I am clearly not from Texas.
Pecan.
It's pecan pie.
You can be wrong. It's fine.
It's real southern. Pecan pie. I'm sorry, everyone. The Florida's rubbed off on me. All right. Well, I think that's most of the info that we have on that particular case.
Yep.
Again, this is something that is consistently evolving.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, we don't have any newer murders since he's been caught, so
maybe it was
him. That's intense for you to kill 15 people. That's like coming up on like Night Stalker numbers.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's the thing. Even if he didn't do all of them, then there's a huge problem with the level of violence against trans women,
right?
Specifically of color. And it's like, well, what the hell's going on in this community that keeps happening? What the hell? Fix it. Well, and also we don't know how many more are out there that are being categorized as suicide or just hate crimes or something else because they weren't murdered and it was, potential. The number could be even bigger.
Right.
So
I don't know.
Do we have any other pictures we wanted to show before we close this? Because I'm done with websites.
Do you want to close it? We could just keep it open and talk about things in our lives.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna chat and hang out a little bit more. Pop that up. That's shade.
Sorry.
Well, and that's the sad thing too.
Just blow this up a little
the
bit.
amount of pictures for shade are there's only like 3.
That's sad.
I know. And then if you go to her obituary page, there's only like a couple of comments on there as well, because it took so long to figure out who it was and all that.
It's pecan.
Pecan.
Well, it depends.
Angela is correct. It's pecan.
It depends. Like,
thank you, Leah.
If it's pie, it's pecan pie. But if you go and get like roasted pecans from a corner store, like that's different. Like,
those are the same nuts.
Yeah, but you say it differently.
No. Hey, Texas people, we're getting a Buc-ee's over here. Just so you know, I'm from Corpus. We don't have a Buc-ee's.
Joey's gonna come in here and
is it pecan?
And spit some game real quick.
He's like, it's pecan.
I was told that you pee in a can, you don't pee in a con.
You pee in a can, you don't pee in a con.
So it's pecans?
It's pecan. You pee in a can, you don't. Whatever. It's a pecan.
I've been taught pecan.
Please let this. Oh. Yes. Yeah.
I prefer pecan.
Thank you.
Pecan.
I prefer pecan.
The fun fact, there was milk in my local Target this afternoon when I went.
Yay!
Well, that's important.
That is a big
I
deal.
have a lot of questions that I need answers to.
Do you guys have more information specifically on the Shake Chua case?
No.
That's all you've got?
Yep.
There's no information on that case.
That's why I ended up
whatsoever.
opening it.
Information on any of the cases that we've touched?
No.
We went through and covered it.
Ooh, yikes.
And we
Like I
posted
said,
it.
the motives, there are none.
We could open it up to all transgender murders across the United States, but this is just focusing on the Dallas ones. We went through all the information so far that there is on the ones that
Joey's
we have.
here asking questions. But
Sorry,
in
guys.
the meantime, while Joey is here asking questions, I have questions for you all.
Yes, please.
Zuri mentioned here that there was milk in her local Target this afternoon. Why are you people buying milk for a quarantine? Doesn't milk go bad? I don't drink milk.
Yeah, but then you can make cottage cheese and yogurt.
Do you eat cottage cheese?
No.
Okay,
all right. I drink almond milk. I don't do
all
milk.
right, so then...
Straight up almond titty.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Uncle Stanley. He said you're doing a good job.
Oh, thanks. I thought he was going to say pecan. It's
No.
pecan. Uncle Stanley, is it pecan or pecan?
Goodness.
As in the pie. As in the pie. Oh. I was going to say, did I open this yet?
Cereal
picking up good?
is my quarantine snack of
We're almost
choice.
at an hour.
Popcorn is my quarantine snack of choice. Popcorn. I love popcorn. Popcorn is always. My whole Walmart was out of cake mix last week, and I restocked the whole aisle. People are going to survive off of cake, apparently. I liked that when I went to Walmart, they were sold out of Spam and ramen and Vienna sausages.
Oh.
Which is disgusting.
It's end of the world food.
If you are living off of ramen, Spam, and Vienna sausages, you have other issues.
Or you're Hawaiian.
You can't like that.
Like, Hawaiians like...
Joey, I told you earlier that
Pecan lick the head, lol.
Oh, you said pecan.
That's what he said?
Pecan lick the head.
That's, I was
LOL.
trying to read it that way. I'm like, pecan?
If a cow licks your head, all your hair will grow back.
No, really?
I don't know. That's
More
what my
island
uncle told me.
proverbs.
Yes, more island proverbs. In the islands, we say, Angela said that's going to be my new catchphraase.
In the islands.
In the islands, we say. My mom says she can't even find toilet paper.
Oh, if you need some, we got some extra at my house. I'll run it over.
She's down to 5 rolls.
That's like one day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's like one
Ew,
day.
gross, Bo. Okay, he's saying the Spam Vienna sausages, and what was the other one?
And
Ramen? That's a delicious trail feast.
Disgusting.
When you're walking the trail.
I was gonna say, if you guys wanted to do more today, we could do Peter Ivers.
Next, I
I
want to look into that
think we should
More information on that one.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, if we could probably jump into. We could jump into Adam.
I kind of want to keep it one at a time so that
Yeah.
we're focused on this and
Oh,
this,
you
and then
focus.
do another one.
Ew,
later.
Bo, disgusting, bro.
I'm salivating. That's disgusting.
She's down to 5 rolls of toilet paper. Where can we find toilet paper? If you guys know where, who is freezing milk?
We're not talking about no cow.
Huh?
Oh,
We're not
yeah.
talking about no cow.
You can freeze milk? Can you really? Hold on. I don't believe that.
You should.
Can
I don't- you can't- but-
freeze milk?
It would still go bad, would it not?
Yes, it's okay to freeze milk. If the sell-by date on your milk is approaching, it's fine to freeze it and use it for later, but read on for more advice and other options. Milk will expand when it's frozen, so be sure to leave room in the container so it won't burst. Oh, I figure it's got ice in it, yeah.
Disgusting. Zuri said people always also have their bad behind kids to give cereal. That is true.
Yeah.
Do they have any information on the lead killer, they think?
Hmm?
Maybe it leads on the killer for the trans girl?
We already
Yeah,
talked
we
about
already
it.
talked about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Um,
We did our research. We
people
did
are
the
preparing
thing.
for the
Yeah,
end.
we covered all of it. It's just not that long.
Bo says that corner stores have toilet paper.
Corner stores.
So the corner store. We
Oh,
went-
and check like Staples.
yeah,
They have like office supply stores have toilet paper, paper towels, coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that you wouldn't think they do.
We went to this gas station the other day. Oh no, it was just a corner store. We went to this corner store the other day. Super.
Bodega.
It was
Call it a
definitely a
bodega.
bodega, you guys. Like they had the only thing they were missing was the cat, and it had that distinct bodega smell.
Oh.
But they had everything you could possibly need. They were not sold out of ramen, Spam, and Vienna sausages. Oh man,
You know what's about that deviled ham in a can. That stuff's good.
deviled ham in a can. Listen,
It's got a little
I'm-
devil on it. It's so good. And little, not sardines. What's the other one? Little smoked
Mom says she'll check
oysters.
it out.
Smoked oysters in tin.
Smoked oysters.
I like
in a
those on
tin.
crackers.
I mean, sardines I've definitely had. I grew up with my grandparents.
Yes, I like 'em.
feeding us sardines from a can.
You can do, if you guys did avocado toast and you put a little paprika and then put a sardine on top of that, that's good. Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Angela, stop lying to the viewers.
End of the world food, guys. End of the world. We used to do, oh man. So I worked at Papa John's and we would mess around with the sardines and you could send them through the oven and make them real crispy and they're very salty and they're delicious.
Mom, no.
What'd you say?
Grandma used to just pull them just, like straight out of the can and eat them.
Oh, you make them crispy.
No, just
them
pull
up a
them
little bit.
straight out of the can and eat them. That is how you do it. You throw a little bit of hot sauce on top. Y'all won't eat.
Maybe I'll try it.
Y'all won't eat Spam or Vienna sausages, but you'll eat sardines.
Hey, one of them I know what it is. It's a fish. It looks like a fish. The other ones, I don't know what that mystery meat is.
I don't know what it is, and I don't like the fact that, like, oh, God.
I used to eat Vienna sausages when I was little, but I
No.
also used to eat cold hot dogs out of the packet.
I think Vienna sausage is just, like, the smell is just the worst part.
Yeah. Don't they make some with jalapeno in them too now?
I don't know.
Let's see. Hang tight.
Angela's gonna look up Spam.
Vienna sausages. Let's see.
What?
I mean, it just looks real gross. We had
They smell disgusting. Like, how do you stand, like, cooking them?
with jalapeno.
Or are you just eating them
Oh no, you eat them straight out of the can.
raw?
Yeah.
Is that, like, the right way to
Yes, you
say
eat them
that?
raw.
Do you eat them
them fresh.
raw, Bo?
Fresh out of that can. Yeah, they have Vienna sausage with jalapeno.
Are there jalapenos in them?
Yes,
Or
mixed into the meat. It's bursting with flavor. Authentic spices blended with jalapeno peppers to create a unique south of the border taste. They're Vienna sausages. They are perfect as a ready-to-eat snack.
No, they're not.
Or you can add them to your favorite dishes. Cut them up and put them in your mac and cheese.
Please don't.
Or
Why would you soil mac and cheese?
do
like
it.
that?
Do it.
Angela has a problem. Put them in your ramen. No. See, I feel you, Caitlin. 100%. That is puke worthy. Oh, whoa. What just happened there?
Ramen.
Did we just...
What?
Oh, I think we just went out for a second.
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys.
We're back.
We didn't mean to go out for a second.
Was there any other pictures? I think there was one other. Let me see who we got. We did these. That
one?
middle left one.
Middle left.
That one. That's from one of the memorials that they had in Dallas.
Oh, Jeepers cats. Sorry, y'all. Let me pull that up for you a little bit better.
That's